Hello again, Year 6. So, today we are going to start looking at calculating angles around a point. So, first of all, how many degrees are there in a full turn? So if I face the door and I turn all the way around so that I face the door again, I've turned a full turn. How many degrees are there in that full turn? Have a think for a second. That's right, there's 360 degrees. How many right angles are there then in a full turn? So if you think about it, a right angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so remember from last week, a right angle is 90 degrees. How many right angles are in a full turn? And a full turn is 360 degrees. Have a think for a moment. There are 4 right angles in a full turn. So we've got our circle here. If I draw 2 lines across my circle, you can see that I have got a right angle here, a right angle here, a right angle here, and a right angle here. So I've got 4 right angles all together in a full turn. Okay, so the full turn would start here, go all the way around, and end here. Well done if you got that correct. So if there's 4 right angles in a full turn, how many straight lines are there in a full turn? Have a think for a moment. There are 2 straight lines, okay, because I can draw a straight line from there to there and a straight line from there to there. And that is all inside my full turn, okay? Oops. A better full turn than that. Okay then, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to complete the sentences below. So the first one has been done for you. A quarter of a turn equals 1 right angle, which equals 90 degrees. So then you've got a half of a turn equals something right angles equals something degrees. And then you've got the next one and the next one. Okay, finishing with a full turn. So the full turn might be the first one to do because that might be the easiest one to then work back. A top tip for you, in order to work out how many degrees there are, just add 90 degrees to your previous angle because we already know that there are 4 right angles in a full turn. Okay, and a right angle is worth 90 degrees, isn't it? Yeah? So pause the video now and see if you can complete this. Okay, let's have a look at the answers then. So half a turn is 2 right angles, which equals 180 degrees. 3/4 of a turn is 3 right angles, which equals 270 degrees. And a full turn is 4 right angles, which equals 360 degrees, which we already know. Well done if you got that one correct. Okay, so as we are calculating angles on a point, we need to calculate angles that create 360 degrees. So what I would like you to do for now, for your first task, is find 3 different sets of 3 numbers that have a sum of 360. So they add together to make 360. Okay, so you've got A, B, and C. So you're going to use 3 different numbers for each answer. Okay, pause the video and have a go. Okay, so let's have a look at the answers then. So the sum, if it says sum, it means add. Okay, sum means add. So you've got to find 3 different sets of 3 numbers. Okay, so there are your 3 different sets, and you need 3 numbers in each set. So here are some that I came up with. 270, add 65, add 25. 60, add 90, add 210. 135, add 160, add 65. Now, there may also be more options. So if you don't have these three, that doesn't mean you're incorrect. As long as your three numbers add up to 360, you've got that correct. Well done. Okay, so we're looking at calculating angles on a point. So the other day we looked at calculating angles on a straight line. So this is rather similar to that. Okay, so we've got two angles to find, A and B. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work out how many degrees I've got altogether. So I'm going to add 67 and 67 and 34. Okay, so remember all of my angles add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so 7 add 7 is 14, add 4 is 18. And then I've got 6 add 6 is 12, add 4 is 16. So altogether so far I've got 168 degrees. Okay, so now I need to find A and B. Now I can see clearly that A and B are different amounts. Okay, so I'm going to have to use my knowledge of angles on a straight line to work this out. So I am going to use this line here. Okay, I'm going to use this as my straight line because on this straight line I've got 67 degrees and something to make B, and then I've got 67 degrees and 34 degrees and something to make A. So the easiest thing to do, first of all, would probably be to find B. So remember, it's angles on a straight line now. So because my angle is on a straight line, I want half of 360 degrees, which is 180. So I'm going to do 180 minus 67 to find B. Okay, because 67 plus B equals this 180 degrees. So 0 take away 7 I can't do, so I'm going to exchange. So 10 take away 7 is 3. 7 take away 6 is 1. And 1 take away nothing is 1. So that means that B is 113 degrees. Now if I have a look at my angle here, I can see that B is just over 90 degrees. So I believe that this is around about right because you can tell that it's an obtuse angle because it is above 90 degrees. So B equals 113 degrees. So now I need to work out A. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either find your other straight line, so work out of 180, or because you've now found angle B and you've just got one angle left, you could work it out using 360. So you could take all of your angles away from 360, or you could take these two angles away from 180. So I want to find the most efficient method. For me, the most efficient method is subtracting these two digits from 180. So I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to add them together so I only have to do my subtraction once. So I've got 67, add 34. So 7 add 4 is 11, and 6 add 4 is 10. So altogether, 67 and 34 is 101. So now I'm going to do 180 minus 101 to find A. So 0 take away 1 I can't do, so I'm going to exchange. 10 take away 1 is 9. 7 take away 0 is 0. And 1 take away 1 is also 0. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my angle. Now I can see that my angle is nearer to 90 degrees than it is to 0 degrees. So I don't believe that A can be 9 degrees. So I'm going to double check my calculation. So 67 plus 34, so 7 plus 4 is 11. 6 plus 3 is 9, add 1 is 10. So that's definitely 101. So let's see where I've gone wrong. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 0 is 7, not 0. Okay, so that's where I have made my mistake. So I need to change that now to a 7, which means that A is 79 degrees. Now if I look at my angle, that is much closer to 79 degrees than it is to 9. So A equals 79 degrees. So now if I add all of my angles up to 67, add 113, add 67, add 34, add 79, my answer will be 360. Let's have a look at this one. So first of all, what do I already know here? So have a think to yourself, what do I already know? So I know that I've got 51 degrees, I've got 65 degrees, my angles are add up to 360 because it is a full turn. And I also know something else. I know that this angle here is 90 degrees because it is a right angle. So your right angles will more than likely be depicted by a square, there look, rather than a curve. Okay, so I've got 3 angles and I've got 2 to find. So I want to know what A is and what B is. Okay, so then, first of all, I'm going to look for any straight lines. So I can see that I've got a straight line here. Then I'm going to see if any of my angles are on a straight line. So I can see that B is on a straight line here. So I'm going to work out angle B using my knowledge of straight lines. So I know that there are 180 degrees in a straight line. And I'm going to take away 51 from that 180 degrees. I'm going to do 0 take away 1, which I can't do, so I'm going to exchange. 10 take away 1 is 9. 7 take away 5 is 2. And 1 take away 0 is 1. So B equals 129 degrees. So now I can work out A. So what I can do now is I can stick with my straight line because I already know that my straight line is worth 180 degrees, and I know that I've got an extra angle here now at 129 degrees. So what I need to do now, because angle A isn't on a straight line, I cannot use my knowledge of straight lines to work it out. So what I need to do this time is I need to subtract all of these angles from 360, because remember we're doing angles on a point. So first of all, I'm going to add them up and then subtract them. So I've got 129, add 51, add 90, add 65. So I've got 9, add 1 is 10, add 5 is 15. Then I've got 9, add 1 is 10, add 5 is 15, add 2 is 17, add 6 is 23. And then I've got 2, add 1, which is 3. So altogether, these angles equal 335 degrees. The difference between 335 to 360 is angle A. So now I'm going to do 360 minus 335. So 0 take away 5 I can't do, so I'm going to exchange. 10 take away 5 is 5. 5 take away 3 is 2. And 3 take away 3 is 0. So angle A must equal 25 degrees. If I add all those angles up now, so if I added 129, add 51, add 90, add 65, add 25 degrees, I would get 360. Looking at this angle here, angle A, I can see that it is closer to 0 than it is to 90, therefore 25 degrees must be correct. Okay, now it's your turn. Can you calculate the missing angles? So remember, angles on a point add up to 360 degrees. If you have a straight line, you could try and use that. But for these ones, you shouldn't need to. You should just need to subtract from 360. Okay? Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, let's have a look then. So the first one, A, is 45 degrees because you've got 8 segments, so you divide 360 by 8, which is 45 degrees. B is 122 degrees, so you've done 360 minus 238, which is 122. And C is 66 degrees, so you've done 157, add 137, and then subtract that from 360. Hopefully you will have looked at the size of your angles as well and noticed whether they were acute or obtuse to help you to calculate whether you were correct or not. Well done, Year 6. Okay, so again, calculate the missing angle. So again, you've only got one angle to calculate, so I would subtract from 360. First of all, I would add any angles together that you have got before subtracting from 360. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, then let's have a look, shall we? So A is 143 degrees, B is 225 degrees, C is 98 degrees, and D is 83 degrees. Well done if you got that correct. Have a look at this one then. So, 3 angles make up a full turn. These are 2 of the angles. So you've got 80 degrees and 165 degrees. So what is the value of the third angle? Okay, so you need 3 angles to make up a full turn. So remember, a full turn is 360 degrees. So what you need to do is find that missing angle. Pause the video now and have a go at that. Okay, let's have a look then. So 360 minus 80 minus 165 equals 115 degrees. So how I would have done that, I would have added 165 and 80 together, and then I would have subtracted that total from 360. Well done if you got 115 degrees as your answer. Okay, so for this one, you need to find the missing angle and explain how you know. So I would like you to use this sentence stem. So angle A, B, or C is however much you've calculated it at. I know this because what type of angle is it and how did you do your working out? Okay, so you've got to explain how you know. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, then let's have a look. So, angle A is 136 degrees because angles around a point add up to 360 degrees And 360 minus 224 equals 136. You could have also said that angle A is an obtuse angle. Angle B is 223 for the same reasons. And then angle C is 63 degrees. But this time, it's not because it's obtuse, it's because it's an acute angle. But still, the same principle, angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. Well done if you got those ones correct. And for your final question then, for today's lesson, Abdul is facing north. He turns clockwise 135 degrees, then another 90 degrees. How many more degrees clockwise does Abdul need to turn to return to north? So true or false? A. 4 right angles make a full turn. B. A third of a full turn is a reflex angle. C. When the hands of a clock show 5 o'clock and the angles shown are 160 degrees and 200 degrees. And D. You can make one whole turn with 3 acute angles. So you've got 2 questions there. Abdul and true or false. So take it a question at a time. Let's have a look at this one and underline the important information together. So he is facing north first of all. So north is here, remember. He turns clockwise 135 degrees. So remember, clockwise is the way that the clock hands go around the clock, so that's this way. Then another 90 degrees. So he's still turning clockwise. So how many more degrees clockwise does Abdul need to return to north? So we're still going clockwise. Every single turn he makes is clockwise. Where does he reach and how many degrees more does he need to return to north? Once you've done that one, it's a tick in either true or false. So if I were you, I would do A, B, C, D on my paper, and I would do a tick for true and a cross for false. Pause the video now and have a go. Let's have a look at the answers then. So for this one, I would start with 360 degrees because remember, angles around a point equal 360 degrees. I would then minus 135 and 90 from that 360 degrees, which will give you 135 degrees. Because remember, in order to return to north, you want one full turn. Well done if you got that one correct. And for this one, A is true, B is true, C is false, and D is false. Well done, Year 6. You've worked very hard today. I'll speak to you soon.